Hi friends, good evening and welcome to Tech Toast with Science Spread. As you all know by now, this is your RJ Vidya. Hope you all are doing great. And today, as usual, it is a new new episode of Tech Toast with Science Spread. Hope you're finding this show interesting. And in this show, as usual, we're going to talk about interesting topics in science and also math and sometimes technology. Because there's already another show about technology, I'm not focusing much on this topic, but surely we'll talk about science and math, and we have lots and lots of things to talk about in science and math. Don't you think so? Science is very innovative and you can go on talking and talking about science. Without science, there's nothing that's possible. Day-to-day activities also depend on science. And math. Obviously, you keep using math in your day-to-day life. Even if you go to a shop, you just need to count money. For that, you need math. And everything in everyday activities, you find math. For arranging things, you need math. You need to find out where to keep what and all these. So, science and math are integral part of everyone's life, and I'm focusing mainly on topics that everyone can understand. So as usual, let's all begin today's show with science section. Are you all ready to travel the world of science? Okay, this is March, and in March, recently we all have celebrated International Women's Day, and in India and throughout the globe, women are not represented mostly in the field of science, technology, and even in the field of literature. But now the situation is changing. It has not completely changed, but obviously there are many women in this field, in the field of science and also technology and mathematics, etc. So we all have heard of scientists like Newton, Einstein, Fleming, Galileo, and mathematicians like Euclid and many others. So what do you find in common with all the names that I said? Yeah, they are foreign names. One guess, if you would have guessed, it's right. They all are foreigners. And one more, obviously all these people relate to science, math, etc. Basically sciences. And another important fact, yes, they all are male. So, male scientists. When you tell science and scientists, what do you generally imagine? Someone working many hours in a lab and trying to find out something. Basically, they will not be organized and sitting in one place and trying to figure out something, and they will not have any focus on other activities in life. And what else do we imagine? Math. When you think of math, yeah, someone writing tedious, complicated problems which common people cannot understand, just writing and trying to figure out day and night thinking about it. Yeah, we imagine that, right? And when we think of math, most of us feel it's difficult and we imagine it that way. And female scientists generally feel so because they feel that men only can do all these things. And when you even take computer programming, it's like techie guys. Generally when you tell techie, they tell he's a techie guy. Rare people tell she's a techie girl. But because IT companies from morning till night you have to work and you have to code and all these, so generally they're taken up by men. Now let me tell you few other names. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Homi Jahangir Baba, and APJ Abdul Kalam, and even mathematicians like Aryabhatta. Then we have Ramanujan, then Bhaskaracharya, etc. All these people are, yeah, obviously they are Indians. They all are scientists and mathematicians and have contributed a lot to the world. And again, all these people are male scientists. So, generally, not only in India but even abroad, female scientists and mathematicians and those who are involved in computer science research are also very less. Now, basically what I am going to tell you, you all have heard female scientists like Madame Curie. Obviously, everyone would have heard about Madame Curie. Yeah, but she is a foreigner. Now, in today's show, after talking so much about scientists, International Women's Day, and I also pointed out about International Women's Day and pointed about foreign scientists and Indian scientists and male and female scientists. So, after talking so much about scientists, what do you think is today's topic? Just take a guess. What do you think might be today's topic? It's something related to female. You would have guessed by now. But what? What is the topic for today? Today's topic is female Indian scientists. Female Indian scientists. Okay, in India too, females have contributed and are still contributing, but science is not that open to females, but slowly the world is changing and it will change. So when I tell you female Indian scientists, what do you imagine? Do you remember a few names as soon as I tell female Indian scientists? I think you need some time to think about this. So just think about this. I'm sure as soon as I tell female Indian scientists, you wouldn't have got many names into your brain. But then, maybe few would have heard of few scientists, but today I'm going to tell you about the scientists that you have probably never heard of, and all the scientists are female Indian scientists. So, let's start off. First of all, let me tell you about these scientists, and later I'll give you a few references which you can go through in order to read more in case you would like to read more and in case you would like to know how much women scientists have contributed to our country, especially India. It's still a developing country and a lot needs to happen. Obviously, we all have heard about the challenges faced by disabled people as well in various fields, and in science it's even more. But women in science is still a long way to go, and women generally in science are still there even in India. So let's know about it. Now, have you all heard about MOM, that is Mars Orbital Mission? Recently, there was a mission in India called Mars Orbital Mission. You all have heard about it. One of the most talked about images from India's Mars Orbital Mission, that is MOM, was about women scientists in ISRO who were celebrating the success of the mission. So ISRO is nothing but, it's a scientific organization. It is Indian Space Research Organization where many scientists work, and here one of the most talked issues, one of the most talked about images was about women who were actually celebrating the success of this mission. The image of sari-clad, flower-adorned and lady next door scientist gave most of us immensely warm and fuzzy feeling. The most ironic thing that is, it was the very first time that we Indians were seeing visual of women in science in India. Don't you agree? Here, when if you would have watched any news channel at that time, they were showing many women scientists basically in ISRO. Everyone were celebrating the success of this mission, and there are many scientists who are working female scientists, but we never knew about them, and this was the first time that women scientists were actually represented from any organization in India. So, as I told you, the world is changing and females are coming up. Before it wasn't like this. Yeah, we all agree. Even females weren't getting education. I mean, even now in India, most of the Indians have different attitude towards females. I mean, most of the males, even females think that they cannot do, and even in villages they don't get basic education. But these days the world is changing. Women were primarily given responsibility of taking care of the household responsibilities and taking care of kids, sending them to school and staying at home and working the whole day and sweeping and wiping and whatnot, cleaning bathrooms and taking care of everyone's needs and cooking, and they were just allowed to do only these things. But now people are studying and many people have worked in science too. So let's take a look at all of them. And if you ask anyone to name any Indian scientist, and you can probably bet that most names will be male, don't you think? So there's a organization which is called as Indian Bioscience. It is non-profit initiative within the science sector. It organized a Wikipedia edit-a-thon to coincide with Ada Lovelace Day on October 14, 2014. Over 40 entries and edits to pages were made to pages on women scientists from India to actually represent women's contribution in the field of science in India. So they added at least 40 new pages about all the women scientists. This was the initiative which was taken by India Bioscience to add 40 pages or so in Wikipedia about women in India. There is a visiting scientist at Indian Institute of Science, that is IISc in Bangalore, and he is Karthik Ramaswamy, and he is also participant in the edit-a-thon. He said to Hindu that science in India has diversity problem, that is with Indian women and minorities represented inadequately. There are very few, he says, there are very few women scientists among faculty of science institutions because they have no role models. Hopefully, this initiative, that is presence of women scientists in Wikipedia, will provide them with role models. And now this is what he said. The good news is there is increasing number of women receiving education in sciences in India, and working in sciences has not been easy for women because they have to work very long, that is they have to work for long hours, and societal bias, and also need to get married and have children in between. So let's look at some of these women, and these people are often forgotten scientists. So let's take a look at few women scientists who have immensely contributed to science in India. Now let's take a look at few of the Indian scientists, and surely you will find these female scientists and their work very inspiring. And in case you want to refer more about any of these scientists, you don't have to worry. I'm going to give you the link to refer, and also I'm going to tell you the names of the books from which you can refer about these scientists and many more women scientists. So first let's start off with Anandibai Joshi. She lived from 1861 to 1887. 1861 to 1887. Anandibai Joshi, she along with Kadambini Ganguly was one of the first Indian women doctors qualified to practice Western medicine. So she and Kadambini Ganguly, these two practiced Western medicine for the first time, I mean among females. Dr. Joshi's short life was full of hardships. Her family used to be rich landlords in Kalyan in Maharashtra, but they lost all the riches, and she was married at the age of 9 to a widower who was 20 years older to her. And then she gave birth to her son, who died immediately. and she herself had very poor health and undiagnosed condition that often left her exhausted with shortness of breath and constant headaches. So she suffered from all these things. First of all, her family lost all the riches and she was married to a person who was 20 years older. She married at the age of 9 and at the age of 14 she gave birth to a baby and he died immediately, and she too had poor health and it was not diagnosed properly. The death of her newborn son due to inadequate medical care is what inspired her to become a physician. She was also encouraged by her husband to study medicine abroad. So this was her inspiration because her newborn son died, and so she decided to study abroad with the encouragement of her husband. Dr. Joshi was in class of 1886 at Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania. This was the first women's medical program in the whole world. So she is very lucky to have been in this batch, and this was the first time any medical course was started for women in the whole world. That means 1886. That time itself, if there was an Indian, so surely India is developing, and from that time itself it was developing. So women were not in the field of science till basically 1850s or so, and only from then everything has started, so it will take time to evolve. And on Dr. Joshi's return to India, she was appointed as physician in charge of female ward of local Edward Hospital in princely state of Kolhapur. So here she became a practicing physician. This was all about Anandibai Joshi. Did you find it interesting? She was one of the first person to have studied Western medicine along with Kadambini Ganguly. And in spite of many challenges and her short life, she did whatever she could. She practiced as a physician and she studied abroad as well. So this was quite interesting short account basically of Dr. Anandibai Joshi. Welcome to the world of invention, creativity and discovery. Here's an opportunity for all of us to explore the ocean of knowledge. This show is all about emerging trends in science and technology, math, quiz, facts and much more. So friends, get ready to listen Tech Toast with Science Spread with your RJ Vidya only on Radio Udan every Monday from 7 to 8 pm and rebroadcast every Tuesday from 2 to 3 pm.
मैं आरसी मोनिका करूंगी आपके लक्ष्य को पाने में आपकी मदद और बनूंगी आपकी सहभागी आपकी सक्सेस में। लाऊंगी आपके लिए जीके से जुड़े अनछुए पहलू और शेयर करेंगे हम ज्ञान को। यस फ्रेंड, मैं आरजे मोनिका ला रही हूँ आपके लिए ज्ञान से सराबोर एक एजुकेशनल प्रोग्राम जिसका नाम है लेट्स एंजॉय 2020 every Monday at 10 to 11 p.m. and repeat broadcast on Tuesday 5 to 6 p.m. only on Radio Udan.
रेडियो उड़ान सुन रहे सभी मित्रों को मेरा प्यार भरा नमस्कार। मेरा नाम मधु सिंघल है। मैं बेंगलोर में कार्यरत संस्था मित्र ज्योति, जो पिछले 25 वर्षों से दृष्टिहीनों एवं दूसरे विकलांग व्यक्तियों के लिए कार्यरत है, उसकी मैनेजिंग ट्रस्टी हूँ। इस संस्था की गतिविधियाँ इस प्रकार हैं यहाँ पर दृष्टिहीनों के लिए ऑडियो में पुस्तकें रिकॉर्ड की जाती हैं। इसके साथ साथ ब्रेल में और स्कैन्ड पुस्तकें भी उनको दी जा रही हैं। कंप्यूटर प्रशिक्षण और रोजगार की सुविधाएं भी यहाँ प्रदान की जा रही हैं। दृष्टिहीन महिलाओं के लिए एक विशेष प्रकार का कोर्स चलाया जाता है, जिसमें उन्हें आत्मनिर्भर बनकर जीवन में आगे बढ़ने की क्षमता प्रदान की जा रही है। आप मित्र ज्योति से संपर्क कर सकते हैं। यहाँ का फोन नंबर है 08022587623 और 22587625। ईमेल एड्रेस है admin.office@mitrajyoti.org। वेबसाइट है www.mitrajyoti.org।
Hey friends, do you think that life is getting so stressful? Well, if it is so, why not make it quite inspirational, motivational and stress-free? So let us meet in a world of positivity in the show Inspirational Wings Season 2. Every Tuesday 9 to 10 p.m. and repeat every Wednesday 4 to 5 p.m. with RJ Divya Sharma only on Radio Udan, a flight of life. For more information, visit our website www.radioudan.com.
हाय हाय, मैं क्या करूं? मेरी बेटी को देखो, अच्छी खासी एक्सपर्ट है हर काम में, कंप्यूटर में भी अच्छी खासी जॉब भी करती है, लेकिन फिर भी जब भी लड़के वाले देखने आते हैं ना, रिजेक्ट करके चले जाते हैं।
पर क्यों?
क्योंकि ना उसको खाना नहीं बनाना आता। क्या करूं?
क्या करो? ट्यूनिंग करो हर मंगलवार शाम 8 से 9 रेडियो उड़ान पर, जहां मैं आरजे चेतना आपको सिखाऊंगी प्रोग्राम किचन तड़का में जायकेदार डिशेस बनाना।
कहानी वेद पुराणों की, मनोरंजक कहानियाँ, जीवन को राह दिखलाने वाली कहानियाँ, धार्मिक, सांस्कृतिक, सामाजिक और राजनीतिक हर पक्ष को छूती हैं कहानियाँ। अपने संग तो इन्हीं कहानियों को मैं सुनाने आ रही हूँ, यानी आरजे गीता सुमन, शो कथालोक में हर मंगलवार शाम 7 से 8 और हर बुधवार दोपहर 2 से 3। तो सुनना मत भूलिएगा, सिर्फ और सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर।
दो अंधों की कथा सुनो, इस पर इनका ज्ञान सुनो। Now let's take a look at another person, and this person is Janaki Ammal. Janaki Ammal, she lived from 1897 to 1984. So she lived till 1984, and 1897 she was born. So imagine she would have studied college and all in the early 1900s. So at this time, most of the girls at that time studied fine arts and literature. Janaki Ammal decided to pursue botany, and later she has done research in the field of cytogenetics and photogeography. She worked briefly in the UK, but later returned to India in 1951 to reorganize Botanical Survey of India, which is called as BSI. So at this time, most of the girls weren't studying science; they were studying history and other literature and arts also. But she decided to be unique and study to study botany, and here she did a research. Botany is nothing but it is study of plants is botany. Botany and zoology are a part of biology. Zoology is nothing but study of animals, and botany is study of plants. Here in this subject she did research about cytogenetics and photogeography. And later she worked briefly in the UK and then returned to India in 1951 to reorganize Botanical Survey of India, which is BSI. And then she served as Director General of Botanical Society of India, which is BSI. She also did work on economically and medically valuable plants. Yeah, there are many plants which have a lot of value in economically as well and medically as well. We all know many plants, many medicinal plants are there which are very useful, like aloe vera or whatever. There are many medicinal plants. Ginger also, for that matter, is very useful, and leaves of many plants like mint, pudina, all these are very useful, and these all are medicinal plants. She did a research basically about even these plants, and also that have a lot of economic value. Few plants are very costly also. So she has done research about this because her subject was botany. Botany, as I told you, it deals with study of plants. This was about Janaki Ammal. Because this was early days and most of the girls didn't opt for science. Even though in spite of this challenge she took up science and specialized in botany. Here she did a research about cytogenetics and photogeography, and even she served as a director of Botanical Survey of India, and also did a research about plants, that is medicinal and economically valuable plants. So this was about Janaki Ammal. Next person that we are going to take a look at is Kamala Sahoni. Have you heard of Kamala Sahoni? Even she also contributed to science. That means she is also one of the female Indian scientists who contributed to science. And her time, that is, she lived from 1912 to 1998. 1912 to 1998. Again, let me repeat her name, Kamala Sahoni. She lived from 1912 to 1998. Dr. Sahoni was the first Indian woman to get a PhD in a scientific discipline. She applied to IISc, which is in Bangalore, and applied to a research fellowship and met with rejection just because she was a woman. So basically to say, she was the first ever woman scientist in India to have completed a PhD in the field of science. Remember her name. Again, I am telling you her name. That is Kamala Sahoni. She was the first one ever to have done a PhD in India among female scientists. She was the first one to do PhD in a science field, and she was rejected. She applied to the research fellow program but was just rejected because she was a woman. And Professor C.V. Raman, then he was the IISc director, was encouraging female students to come to this program, that is to take a PhD, and he wanted even women participation. So what happened is, then she became the first of his female students ever. So C.V. Raman, you all have heard about C.V. Raman. He was in IISc. He was the director at that time. He encouraged her to take up this PhD, to apply for the research fellowship, and she was his first ever female student. And she performed so well that Professor Raman gave her permission to pursue further studies. She performed so well that he was impressed and permitted her to pursue her research even further. While at Cambridge, she found out that every cell of a plant tissue contained enzyme which is called cytochrome C, which was involved in oxidation of plant cells. This one she found out when she was in Cambridge. What did she find is, every cell of a plant tissue contains enzyme which is called a cytochrome C, which was involved in oxidation of all plant cells. Isn't this a great contribution? She was the one who found this out, and her 40-page PhD thesis was based on this entire thing. The subjects of her research were often on food items consumed by poorest people. She started her pioneering work in nutritional value of Neera also. So she did a research basically of food items that was consumed by poorest of the poor people, and she found out the tissue which was responsible for oxidation of all cells in plants. So this was her major contribution. And one more important thing is she was the first ever female to have finished PhD in any science discipline in India, and this was under Professor C.V. Raman, who was the then director of IISc, which is in Bangalore. IISc is nothing but Indian Institute of Science, and as we all know, it is the top institute as of now in global ranking. I think it's 103rd or 119th, I'm not sure, but it's below 150. It is one of the top institutes and globally ranked also. So this was about Kamala Sahoni. Now, next female scientist that we'll be taking a look at is Anna Mani. Anna Mani was another female scientist. Let's see what she has contributed. She lived from 23rd August 1918 to 16 August 2001. So recent scientist. Till 2001 she lived, from 1918 to 2001. She was the former Director General of Indian Meteorological Department, and she was an Indian physicist and meteorologist. She made significant contributions in the field of meteorological instrumentation, and she studied meteorological instruments at Imperial College in London. So her contribution was basically about in the field of meteorology, and her research was about meteorological instrumentation, and she studied this at Imperial College in London. And after returning to India in 1948, she joined Meteorological Department in Pune. Meteorological Department, it is then Pune, and she joined this department. She also worked under Professor C.V. Raman, just like Kamala Sahoni, but by then I think there were other female scientists as well, and she too worked under Professor C.V. Raman, but this was about, her field was meteorology. She conducted research and published numerous papers on solar radiation, ozone and wind energy measurement. She authored 2 books, that is Handbook for Solar Radiation Data for India in 1980 and Solar Radiation over India in 1981. She also won K.R. Ramanathan Medal in 1987. Basically her contribution was in the field of meteorology, and she studied meteorological instrumentation in Imperial College in London, and after returning to India in 1948 she joined Meteorological Department at Pune, and she also worked under Professor C.V. Raman. She also conducted research and published numerous papers on solar radiation, ozone and wind energy measurements. She authored 2 books, that is the Handbook for Solar Radiation Data for India in 1980 and Solar Radiation over India in 1981. She also won Ramanathan Medal in 1987. So this was her major contributions, and isn't it great? Women also have done a lot, but we just don't know, and they really have done a lot to science. Still there's a long way to go. It's not equal to contribution of males, but as of now still it's evolving and developing, the women's contribution to the field of science. So this person, that is Anna Mani, she contributed in the field of meteorology.
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा। हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा। तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे तो खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी, अब तुम ही हो। चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी, अब तुम ही हो। एक पल दूर गवारा नहीं, तेरे लिए हर रोज है जीते, तुझको दिया मेरा वक्त सभी। कोई लम्हा मेरा ना हो तेरे बिना, हर सांस पे नाम तेरा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी, अब तुम ही हो। चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी, अब तुम ही हो। तेरे लिए ही जिया मैं खुद को, जो यूं दे दिया है तेरी वफा ने मुझको संभाला, सारे गमों को दिल से निकाला। तेरे साथ मेरा है नसीब जुड़ा, तुझे पाके अधूरा न रहा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी, अब तुम ही हो। चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी, अब तुम ही हो, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी, अब तुम ही हो। चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी, अब तुम ही हो।
Hope you enjoyed listening to a brief account about this scientist as well. So next we are going to take a look at Ashima Chatterjee. She lived from 1917 to 2006. Ashima Chatterjee was Indian chemist and was noted for her work in the field of organic chemistry and photochemistry. So she was a chemist and she was noted for organic chemistry and also photochemistry. She was noted for her works in these two fields. And photochemistry is nothing but chemicals that are derived from plants. These are called as photochemistry. The field of deriving chemicals from plants is called as photochemistry. So you get a plant and you derive various chemicals from it, and it's photochemistry, and she worked in this field. Her most notable work includes research on vinca, that is WINCA, vinca alkaloids. That is nothing but vinca alkaloids means they are derived from the paravincle that is known for its anti-cancer properties. She was responsible for development of anti-epileptic and anti-malarial drugs. She also authored a considerable volume of work on medicinal plants of Indian subcontinent. So this was about Ashima Chatterjee. Basically, she worked with chemistry, that is, she worked with photochemistry, and that is photochemistry is nothing but deriving chemicals from plants, and also she was responsible for development of anti-epileptic and anti-malarial drugs. So she developed all these things. Isn't it actually great achievement? Malaria many people used to get, so she developed anti-malarial drugs as well. She was a notable chemist in the field of photochemistry, and she also authored considerable volume of work on medicinal plants of Indian subcontinent. I mean, this is her book. Next, we are going to talk about Rajeshwari Chatterjee. Rajeshwari Chatterjee, she lived from 1922 to 2010. She lived till 2010, and the name of the scientist is Rajeshwari Chatterjee. She is the first woman scientist to pioneer the field of microwave engineering and antenna engineering in India. I mean, she is the first woman scientist. Male scientists had done it before, but among female scientists, she is the first one to have pioneered in the field of engineering, that is microwave engineering and antenna engineering. Rajeshwari Chatterjee was the first woman engineer from Karnataka. In Karnataka, she was the first ever woman engineer. And these days there are many people doing engineering, but at that time there were not many, and she was the first woman engineer from Karnataka. In 1946, she was given a scholarship by then government of Delhi to study abroad, and she studied MS at the University of Michigan, which is in USA, and obtained her master's degree from Department of Electrical Engineering in 1949. So she studied MS from Michigan University, getting a scholarship from Delhi government, and she studied in the field of electrical engineering. She studied in this department in 1949. After obtaining her PhD, she returned to India and joined the Department of Electrical Communication Engineering at IISc as a faculty member, where she, along with her husband, set up Microwave Research Laboratory, where they did pioneering work in microwave engineering. So her husband too was very cooperative, and they set up this lab, basically microwave research lab, and they conducted pioneering experiments and did great research on microwave engineering. So this department in IISc was set up by Rajeshwari and her husband. Her husband also was very cooperative. And you should be amazed if you hear this fact, that is 60 years ago she was the only woman in faculty of IISc. That means she was the first ever female in as a faculty who was appointed as faculty in IISc, Indian Institute of Science, which is in Bangalore. So she was the first ever faculty, that means female faculty in IISc before 60 years. She retired as professor and chairperson of Department of Electrochemical Engineering from Indian Institute of Science, which is in Bangalore. So when she retired, she was a professor. Next, let's talk about Darshan Ranganathan. Darshan Ranganathan is a female, and she lived from 1941 to 2001. 1941 to 2001. She was an organic chemist from India who was known for her work in bioorganic chemistry, including pioneering work in protein folding and supramolecular assemblies, molecular design, chemical simulation of key biological processes, synthesis of functional hybrid peptides, and synthesis of nanotubes. Let me repeat that again for you. She was an organic chemist from India who was known for her work in bioorganic chemistry, including pioneering work in protein folding, supramolecular assemblies, molecular design, chemical simulation of key biological processes, synthesis of functional hybrid peptides, and synthesis of nanotubes. Don't get confused with all these words, but this was her work. Basically, because she was an organic chemist, she had to make a research on all these things, that is each and every biological molecule, etc. Her husband was also a professor of chemistry at Indian Institute of Technology, which is IIT Kanpur, and due to a written rule that forbids spouses from simultaneously holding faculty position in the same department, she languished as a research associate. That means she was also a faculty, but because spouses weren't allowed to continue in the same department as faculty members, she actually languished as a research assistant. Then she eventually joined IIT Hyderabad in 1998, where she became deputy director. After her death due to breast cancer in 2001, her husband instituted the biennial Professor Darshan Ranganathan Memorial Lecture, which is to be delivered by a woman scientist who has made outstanding contributions in the field of science and technology. This was initiated by her husband. This was all the contribution of Darshan Ranganathan, and unfortunately she died at an early age in 2001. By then she was a great organic chemist, and as I told you, her research contributions included various things, and since she had actually joined IIT Kanpur with her husband, but spouses weren't allowed to continue in the same department, so she had to take up her job as research assistant, and later she joined IIT Hyderabad in 1998. When she joined it, she became a director over there, and then she died at early age because of breast cancer, and then her husband initiated a lecture in her name, which was to be delivered by women who has contributed to the field of science and technology. Now that we've come to the end of the show, as I told you earlier that I'm going to give you references to refer about Indian female scientists. So you can always read a book. It is named Vidushi, Indian Women in Science and Technology, and it was published by NCSM. It has good compilation about Indian women in the field of science and technology. The book's name is Vidushi, Indian Women in Science and Technology. There's other book which is called as Leelavati's Daughter, The Women Scientists of India. This was published by Indian Academy of Science. Repeating it again, Leelavati's Daughter, The Women Scientists of India. It was published by Indian Academy of Science. If you want to refer more, you can type Indian female scientists and you will get a Wikipedia page. Even from that, you always can refer. So this was your show Tech Toast with Science Spread, and in today's show we discussed about Indian female scientists. And even in the next show, let's continue and learn contribution of many other female scientists as well. If you want to give me any suggestion or feedback, you can send in a mail to vidya.y@radioudan.com. That is vidhya.y@radioudan.com, radioudan.com. Or you can even give your feedback by visiting the website www.radioudan.com. Even there you can get a link called Submit Feedback, and you can always give in your feedback. And if you want to give me any article or you're interested to know anything, you can always drop me a mail again to the same ID, that is vidya.y@radioudan.com. So we'll meet next week with a different episode and continuation of this same topic. So till then, have a wonderful week. Take care of your health. Keep listening Radio Udan and keep rocking as well. This was your RJ Vidya, and this was your show Tech Toast with Science Spread. Take care. Wish you all the best. Goodbye.
दुनिया में ना मिलेगा, हाँ ना मिलेगा, हो सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगा मेरे जैसा, अरे कैसा, मेरे जैसा, जैसा छोकरा, हो सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगा मेरे जैसा, मेरे जैसा, मेरे जैसा, जैसा जैसा छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा, प्यार का छोकरा,
वो सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगी, हाँ ना मिलेगी, हाँ ना मिलेगी, सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगी मेरे जैसी, अरे कैसी, मेरे जैसी, कैसी, जैसी छोकरी, रूप की छोकरी, ब्यूटीफुल छोकरी, ब्यूटीफुल छोकरी, रूप की छोकरी।
तेरी चाल में ठुमके, तेरे कान में झुमके, तेरी चाल में ठुमके, तेरे कान में झुमके, आ पास जरा तू मेरे, मैं वेखा तेनू चूम के, अब दूर से मैं क्या जानूं तेरा रंग रूप है कैसा, अरे कैसा, मेरे जैसा, जैसा, जैसा छोकरा, प्यार का छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा, प्यार का छोकरा। किस बात में तुझसे कम हूँ, मैं मस्ताना बालम हूँ, किस बात में तुझसे कम हूँ। तू है बंदूक की गोली तो फिर मैं एटम बम हूँ। दो चार को छोड़ दिखा दे बस तू एक मेरे जैसा, अरे कैसा, मेरे जैसा 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 छोकरा, प्यार का ठोकरा, हाँ वंडरफुल छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा, प्यार का ठोकरा।
इस शहर के कितने लड़के मेरे कदमों में हैं गिरते, दिल जान जिगर बेचारे हाथों में लिए हैं फिरते। जो देखे वो लुट जाए, मैं चीज गजब की ऐसी, अरे कैसी, मेरे जैसी 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 छोकरी।
जीवन भर साथ है रहना,
लड़ लेना लड़ते रहना,
है खूब हमारी जोड़ी। मैं तोता हूँ तू मैना, लोगों की बात पे ना जा, लोगों की ऐसी तैसी,
ऐसी तैसी, मेरे जैसी 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 छोकरी।
हो सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगा
हाँ सारी दुनिया में ना मिलेगी
मेरे जैसा,
मेरे जैसी
मेरे जैसा
जैसी
जैसा छोकरा, प्यार का छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा,
ब्यूटीफुल छोकरी।
प्यार का छोकरा, वंडरफुल छोकरा।